Hello everyone, Phoenix61 here with your World of Warships Legends shenanigans. Today we are in the Georgia. This is our Tier 7 Premium American battleship, right? This is, some people don't like this ship because it can be inconsistent, right? That you only get 6 guns, that's the biggest part of this, but we do a damage build on this that I will go through using Azure Lane, New Jersey. You could build something somewhat similar. She does have some pretty unique perks. I think she was probably the first ever commander that I paid like real money for, right? So when it first came out. But we've got a nice broadside Kansas, so we'll take that shot out there. And then what we're going to try and do is not be broadside when bullets start flying our way. So turning out hard, and then as he fires his guns, right, we're going to keep turning away on this one and slam on the brakes to try and avoid it. And then I noticed he kind of fired short, so I hit the gas there, and we get whopped by other battleships on the other end. But this is going to be a good example of why to not just give up and throw your ship away. I am much better positioned now, even though I've lost half my health, right, or kind of up far. But yeah, several heavy-hitting battleships took their opportunity and shot towards me, right? So we will kind of kite away and go a little bit on the defensive here. We've got quite a bit of range with this ship and this build. So we'll take full advantage of that, and we're just going to have to pay a lot more attention to our angling here as these other battleships push up, right? So we'll keep an eye on this Heisen in case he gets around this island. We'd be able to shoot him. That would be a good shot for us, but Kansas is down too, right? He's probably got less health than I do at this point, so not a big deal. Don't ever give up your ship, right? At minimum, try and just whittle people down, go around, cap zone, spot ships, depending on what kind of, what class you are. Right, I say it a lot with destroyers. People kind of lose a little bit of destroyer health, and then they just kind of give up on life. But I'm like, man, you're probably the most valuable ship, even with little health, right? So, big hit on the Iowa there. So, 3 penetrations, 1 overpen, and a busted shell or something, I think. So, the accuracy can be there, right? That was 6 guns, and everything hit, right? Like, so we'll take that. Or maybe only 5 shells hit. I wasn't paying that close enough attention, right? But that's like pretty accurate for having only shot 6 cannons here. So they're going to go unspotted in between them firing guns because we don't have anybody up far enough. But we get first blood there, and that is why you don't give up your ship when you take a bad hit early on, right? Now we were not the first one out. We made somebody else the first one out, right? And then we go undetected here, so we know a destroyer here does not have line of sight on us. We could potentially start moving back to help support caps here. We're going to just have to be patient and wait for opportunity here. We'll start moving closer to the A cap here.
Get back, my friend.
Yeah, we're at 70,000 damage now, right? So it kind of makes me feel better. I've already got more damage dealt than what my whole health is worth, so we'll take that. I'm just going to start moving the guns to the other side of the ship, so we'll use the overhead camera. And then Kansas is going to be in range soon here. And we've got a very healthy Schonberg here. Lots of health bars for that guy. I am never above trying, well, it's occasionally, I'm never above trying to help out with destroyers. But yeah, you can see there we missed completely. But yeah, sometimes if they're just so far out and they're zigging and zagging, right, that sometimes the shot is, kind of wasted. But that looked pretty good there. I thought I could get a hit on him, but we didn't, so it is what it is. We'll keep an eye on this Heisen here. We don't want to get smacked by him. He might have been the one that hit us pretty good in the beginning. And we'll line up the Kansas shot. That's going to get us spotted, of course, so I'm taking a peek at where the Heisen is looking, and he was looking this way. A little bit better angled that time, though. And we get 4 connections on the Kansas that was over there, but not too much damage. And again, we've got the range here. We're kind of low on health. I don't mind kiting away here at this point. We've sacrificed enough of our health for this game thus far. So we'll take advantage of the fact that we've got range built into this ship. See if we can get payback on this Heisen. Looks like he might start moving forward, but I'm going to take the shot anyway here. He doesn't move. Boosh. 2 Citadel hits is all it took to finish him off. So that gives us both kills for the match so far at 100,000 damage. Turning out to be a depressing game in the very beginning, and then now it's turning out to be a fun game. We're spotted, so it's most likely the Schomburg or the other destroyer here, right? We're going to have to pay attention to that. Jaeger, right? He's going to have a bajillion and 1 torpedoes. We'll take the shot at him, right? I'm not above taking those shots, but we get lucky there with our teammate Jaeger. The Jaeger on our team manages to get him with the torpedo. And then we've got a Carnot, right? Coming around this direction here over by the Charlie cap. So if he keeps moving, we'll slow down and see if we can get bullets on target there. Looks like he's slowing down also. So I fired a little bit shorter than what auto aim gave me when I zoomed in. Oh, knocked out a turret. And if he's going to hold still for us, we will take advantage of that. Alright, we got Hampshire on the Alpha Cap here. Might have a good angle on him. If we can get these guns around before he ducks behind this island here. Yeah. Alright, he goes down anyway. Kansas at range. We'll take that shot. He's nice and broadside. Rear turret. Do your thing, rear turret. Yeah, 1 connection out of that. See? That's the thing that, well, he's turning it into, but that's kind of what I was going to say. Like, some people don't like the inconsistency that you get with this ship. It's just, the problem is you don't have that many, you're not flinging as much spaghetti at the wall here, right? You really, literally only have 6 cannons, so. See if we can nab this kill. It looked like I think I fired short anyway. So I probably wouldn't have gotten that one. Schomburg is showing his face again. Still at full health. Meanwhile, our destroyer has a sliver left here. Surprised he's surviving right now. We'll take the shot at the Schomburg. Nothing else in range at the moment anyway. And then yeah, I didn't lead him enough there, obviously. And he's going to go undetected. He's going to go dark. We'll keep pushing up on him, though. I'm going to change course here, though, just to be safe, right? He potentially sent torpedoes through this, you know. I was spotted, right? So that's what I would have done. I would have sent torpedoes at the battleship. And then, was this a Shimanto out here, right? He's going to have long-range torpedoes. We may have to be careful there of that as well, depending on how he's done his build for that ship. But if he remains broadside, he's going to regret it. We'll see how that goes. Give me some. 2 overpens. And nothing from that sloppy rear turret that we fired. It didn't go off when I wanted it to originally, and so I just pulled the trigger again, even though I wasn't aiming. Alright, we're going to do better this time. We're going to do better. We're going to keep moving, too, if we can get behind an island over here, right? These torpedoes wouldn't have a path to hit us. There we go with the Citadel, right? 2 bullets did that much damage. And then we do want to make sure we're zigging and zagging here every once in a while, since that Schomburg's still out there. And there's Schomburg. take the shot at him, and then we're going to point towards him, right? We don't have to be too safe here, right? We could get potentially wiped out by torpedoes here, but I'm going to zig and zag a little bit while heading towards him. See if we can finish off this Shimanto. And then, yeah, if we point towards him, we have a good chance of being able to dodge most of his torpedoes, right? Probably take one, depending on where he shoots them. Here we go. So we'll turn into that. We'll use the damage con. Right, and I think he's done with torps, right? He would have to wait his full reload time. So if we keep pushing up, we could potentially keep him spotted, since he decided to sit and chill in the smoke instead of moving away. A little bit of help from the team would be nice. I'm going to switch to HE shells here. Do have okay secondaries with the Georgia. Gonna trip the fire on us, and right, Shimanto's got potentially sending torpedoes as well. We're probably more worried about torpedoes from him than the Schonberg now at this point. See if we can get turned and see if maybe we can get the rear turret on him as well. Finish him. There goes high caliber with some secondary hits. And then, yeah, he's done. See if we can survive this fire. Shimanto's probably going to keep shooting HE at us anyway. I did switch back to AP in case we do manage to get loaded before dying here. This would put us at 4 kills. If we can get this kill, we wouldn't be able to get a Kraken. 5 seconds left on the damage con. I'm going to use it because otherwise I would die. See how much health we have left. 300! You only need 1 health point, guys. They only need 1 health point to win. We'll take a peek at the leaderboard, and then I'll show the commander build like I normally do. $152,000 damage with 4 kills there. Didn't quite get the top spot on the leaderboard, right? That Jaeger probably was doing, you know, objective type things like capping zones, and so that's what's going to earn you some more XP there. And then walk away with almost 500 grand in silver, in currency, whatever you want to call it, right? And then, yeah, well, we're doing main battery mod here for the traverse speed, right? You could do AA, right, at tier 7. You know, there's a lot you get put with carriers quite a bit. And then I'm using propulsion mod for slot 2, concealment for slot 3. And then we have the artillery plotting room that's somewhat unique to the American battleships, right? Where we get the better dispersion, right? So we've got an epic mod on there where we get better dispersion as we do more damage. Azure, New Jersey, right? Main battery shells that travel over 10 kilometers do more damage. Still don't have her fully upgraded. And then we've got Colorado for inspiration number 1 for better reload and shell grouping there as well. And then AP pen multiplier with Robert Jujard, so he's a free to play guy, right? Flammable Cannoneer here gives us extra range and shell grouping. Right, so this is kind of full-on damage, range, accuracy, whatever you want to call it, all in one here. More AP shell damage there. Firefighter here. And then this, don't you just love it, right? Gives you more damage with Citadel strikes and more main battery dispersion. I almost never use Farsight. I would either use Fight Fire with Fire or Will to Rebuild for your legendary perk. You know, since I've got Firefighter picked in row 3 there, I like to pick Will to Rebuild, but suppose if you could switch those two, right, you could go the on second thought for a little bit better reload, and then Fight Fire with Fire for your legendary perk. That would be a good trade-off there. But that's going to be our game for the day, guys. Thanks so much for watching and hanging out on my channel. I do appreciate that, especially since I'm somewhat of a small channel still, trying to build an audience. So I do notice when 1 or 2 new people join the ranks, and appreciate that. You are noticed. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. And I do occasionally live stream, so look out for me there. I don't have a set schedule. It can be pretty random, so hit the notifications if you're interested in that. I'm Central Time in the US, and I typically stream in the evenings when I have an opportunity. So, but yeah, try to do Legends videos every day. So if you are following, we'll see you guys tomorrow.